This is Andrea Mitchell, Msnbc, fixing to get owned by an Israeli deputy prime minister when she tries everything she can to get them to say something bad about Trump. But watch her eyes. It's absolutely hilarious. And he points out Obama's failures on intelligence leaks.
Of course, with President Netanyahu and the leaders just a few moments ago, alongside Prime Minister Netanyahu, the Prime Minister and the President were talking about Iran.
Iran should be very grateful to the United States because Iran negotiated a fantastic deal with the previous administration. Instead of being thankful and saying thank you because they were in serious trouble, I think they would have failed, totally failed, within 6 months. We gave them a lifeline, and we not only gave them a lifeline, we gave them wealth and prosperity. No matter what area we're in, we see Yemen, Iraq, no matter where we are, we see the signs, every sign, whether it's soldiers, whether it's money and guns, it's Iran. And instead of saying thank you to the United States, they now feel emboldened.
And Michael Oren is Deputy Minister in the Prime Minister's office and the former Israel Ambassador to the United States. We know him well. Great to see you, Ambassador. Thank you very much. Well, there's a lot to unpack here. And I know you're a member of the Knesset and you obviously support the government position. Let's talk about what the president is trying to achieve here. But first, this intelligence flap, how big a deal is it?
Not a big deal here. Matter of fact, it's not even making the Israeli news. It's making your news, but it's not making the Israeli news.
We've seen things in the Israeli news, and
it's not a huge headline.
We've talked to former Mossad leaders who say it is.
And I'm speaking from personal experience. We have the closest possible intelligence relationship with the United States, and it's vast. And I don't know about this incident, and there's probably different interpretations of what the president says. At the end of the day, it's not going to affect our intelligence relationship, I assure you. And I think, if anything, this entire incident underscores just how important Israel is to America's security and how important this alliance is to the security of the free world.
No, there's no question that Israel and the support of Israel and its intelligence operation is very, very deeply embedded in our security, in our national security. But in talking to members of the intelligence community, my colleague Bill Neely and I, in the last 24 hours, have heard that they think it's very significant. There was even a shouting match last week between American intelligence and Israeli intelligence officials here complaining about this breach.
So I can't confirm that. I just know that, in the world of intelligence, many things happened during the previous administrations. We had no shortage of events that were problematic. There were reports that Israel was operating in Syria. We, of course, never took responsibility for those operations. To prevent Iran from supplying Hezbollah with precision weaponry. We never took responsibility, but somehow those always managed to make it into the New York Times the next day. Not from us.
Or on NBC.
Not from us. So, the intelligence world is a sensitive and delicate world, but I assure you there are no two intelligence communities that are closer than those between the United States and Israel.
Let's just say that when some country intercepts an illegal arms shipment from Iran to the Syrians, somehow we always figure out who did it. We just praise the expertise of the Israeli intelligence. Leaving
the
that
important thing is that the bad guys do not get the advanced weaponry. At the end of the day, that's an Israeli interest, it's an American interest, and I believe it's a global interest.
And in fact, the kinds of weaponry that have been supplied to Riyadh this weekend, a lot of that was in the pipeline already. You have the Iron Dome, which was very helpful when Gaza was attacking, when Hamas was attacking the Israeli
which are very appreciative to the American people.
Are you at all concerned about everything that went to the Arabs this weekend?
No, I'm not really concerned. We have an historic commitment from the U.S. Congress to ensure Israel's qualitative military edge. And I have it emblazoned on my soul, Andrea. It says, the United States commits to enable Israel to defend itself by itself against any Middle Eastern threat or any combination of Middle Eastern threats. Now, the previous administration sold about $80 billion worth of military hardware to the Gulf. That was figured into QME, qualitative military edge. So the United States will now engage in an intimate dialogue with us on how we can possibly meet any threats arising from the entire region together.
So if they get more, then you get more. So it all evens out in the wash.
Definitely more, but it also has to be the quality. It's a qualitative
advanced
military
weapon.
advantage.
Let me ask you about the president saying that it's not as difficult as has been said to reach Middle East peace. He said that after a meeting with Mahmoud Abbas in the White House. Is it going to be possible? Can this president do what no president has been able to do?
Well, I earnestly hope so. I earnestly hope so. And yes, you know, we've had many, many years of failure, and failures from successive administrations and of the last 6 Israeli prime ministers have tried to reach this peace as well. I think a lot of it depends on how you define peace. General McMaster, the National Security Advisor, the other day came out and talked about self-determination for the Palestinians, which is a sort of a more general term, more amorphous, and I think it enables us a lot more space for creativity and discussions. If we don't lock ourselves into hard and fast formula, even before the negotiations begin, I think we have a better chance of moving forward. Right now, we are focusing, at the president's request, on materially enhancing the quality of life and the for Palestinians and the Palestinian economy. I developed a program this week for significantly reducing the waiting time for Palestinians over the Allenby Bridge. It's the bridge that connects Jordan with the West Bank. 2.5 million Palestinians cross that bridge every year, but they wait up to 6 hours to cross it. So we put in a plan this week that will reduce that perhaps to a half an hour, which translates into millions of work hours on the West Bank, which will translate into a big boost for the Palestinian economy. So sometimes you can do little things and get great benefit. Now, economic peace is not a substitute for real peace. We're not going there. But I think we can help generate conditions which are conducive to negotiating if, and it's a big if the Palestinians want to negotiate. They have not negotiated with us for 8 years, and we need negotiations without preconditions, and I think we have a good understanding with the administration that that should be the case.
Ambassador Michael Oren, ever the diplomat, thank you so much. Great to see you.
Very much.
And NBC's Peter Alexander is at the White House.